Anyone can start. When you look at this map, I mean, you kind of have two measuring sticks. You just played the Aces, and now you're going against a Minnesota team that's, you know, on a nice little hot streak right now. What are things that you just want to see out of your team when they're going against these top talents? And take outcome out of it. What are things that you want to see out of them?
The most important thing is to be disciplined defenders. You know, we can be disciplined on the defensive side of the ball, making sure we're containing things. And what this team is really good at is playing behind the arc, putting the ball on the floor from all five. They can put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, they can shoot it. And they're seasoned. They move the ball well. And if we can be disciplined on the defensive side of the ball, we'll definitely give ourselves an opportunity.
She's having a year, you know, this year. What have you seen out of her, you know, this season? And what are some things that you want to do to try and, you know, limit her success?
Oh, well, she's a leader out there. You know, she's their go-to. They're gonna punch it into her. She can score from outside, score mid-range. She scored with her back to the basket. So she's their go-to. So we really have to be smart defensively. Kind of mix it up a little bit, kind of have her thinking more about our defense than their offensive actions. So we can do that and take away what she does best. It helps us. She brings an incredible challenge because of what she's able to do, stretch things and stretch your defense. And then she can go to put her back to the basket. And when she has her back to the basket, she has an array of moves. She's very in tune with her footwork. So you have to be disciplined. And that's the most important word for us, is to be disciplined, keeping that ball in front of you and keeping that body in front of you and not giving more than one option if you can.
How difficult is it to defend discipline?
It's very difficult. You have to be just as disciplined and knowing what you want to take away. You don't want to have all the things that she does well. What are you willing to take away? And that's what we're trying to do, take away some of those things that she does best. And if we can do that, we definitely give ourselves an opportunity.
Any roster updates today?
No.
Anyone else?
Coach, Daniel's offensive rebounding. I'm curious. Obviously, a lot of it is just, you know, desire and hustle. But is there any like sort of technical aspects that go into, you know, positioning? Like, curious as a coach, is there anything you teaching in that department, or is it just all her?
That's her. That's all her. You know, that's a grit and grind, like we always say, so a will and a want to. But she understands where that ball could possibly come off when whoever is shooting. She kind of has an idea, and it's a science to it. And she studies it. She studies it, and she knows how to get herself in great position. But that's all her. That's a desire to go get a rebound and second chance opportunities. And that's what the game is all about anyway, is how many opportunities can you get more so than your opponent.
How do you see Izzy grow from her, you know, coming back from injury and getting off fitness restriction? And at this point, how have you just seen her kind of progress this season?
And gaining confidence right now. She's gaining her confidence back. And that's what it's going to take. She's been progressional the way that she has to be productive on the floor. It's first getting out there, getting a feel for it again, getting your legs underneath you. And then it's about gaining your confidence and finding your fit in where you are in the offense. And she's finding that, understanding what her role is, and being patient with herself. And that's the most important thing.
We'll go to Marnie on Zoom. Marnie, please unmute.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Coach. In three-point shooting, Minnesota leads the league in percentage. You guys are at the tail end. I'm just wondering, how much have you emphasized more three-point shooting, more accurate three-point shooting, or is it down on the list of priorities for your team just because of your roster makeup?
No, we recognize that we have to be better in that area. We recognize that, but we don't want to force it. We don't want to force it because we're not shooting as much as everyone else. We don't want to force it, but when it presents itself, we're going to take it. We recognize it's an important piece in the game, an important piece for us. So we're working at it. We're getting better with it.
And Coach, excuse me.
No, you're okay.
Coach, since you've been working with this team from the beginning of the season till now, what would you say is the biggest movement and improvement that you've seen from this squad?
Chemistry. We're gaining that chemistry that we need. We're starting to understand each other, you know, strengths, weaknesses, as you speak about all the time. But we're starting to gain that chemistry and trust in it. We're trusting one another a little bit more.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yep. You go first. All right. 3 games in like 8 days at home is a lot. And I think like with the attendances being high, we've spoken about like the team fighting through adversity. And I wonder if there's like anything about that you want to share with fans, or sort of what your message is to fans as they come into like the third game of the week with you at home. Like what of that fight, or what's the mentality maybe that like you want fans to have with you?
Oh, no, we're just appreciating them being there. We want to make sure that we're putting out the excitement, being a great product between the four lines, and to have them to be here to be supportive. We have nothing but great things to say because they're truly the sixth man. We talk about that, but that's truly the sixth man, the extra energy that you have in the building, the way that they're showing up for us, and we're truly grateful.
Coach, you guys probably talked about this yesterday, but just what was behind the decision to waive Kaiser?
It's something that we'll talk about as a unit more so than anything. A lot of things you keep in house, but just we'll continue to talk about where we must go. But the one thing that you must say is how much Kaiser has been appreciated for what she's brought, and incredibly special to every one of us. Decisions are incredibly hard and difficult,
Thank
and
you,
she's
Coach.
loved.
Thank you.